Jamestown, I'm Jessee Boyle with your Thursday night JCTV News update. In campus news, the Collegian, Jamestown College student newspaper, was once again named the best newspaper at the North Dakota Professional Communicators College contest held recently. Along with that, JCTV's Night Watch Public Affairs program and host and managing editor Matt Nees won first place in the Broadcast Special Programming category. The Jamestown College Department of Music will be presenting a chamber orchestra and faculty artist concert at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow in the Voorhees Chapel. This Saturday, Carl Hadia will be presenting his senior voice recital in the Voorhees Chapel at 4:30 p.m. On Sunday, the Jamestown College Department of Music will be presenting a concert featuring 4 performing ensembles at 2 p.m. in the Ryland Denault Auditorium. All the events are free and open to the public. Flood control releases out of the Jamestown and Pipestem Reservoir continue today. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers said yesterday releases from Jamestown Reservoir were increased from 500 cubic feet per second to 900, and releases from Pipestem Reservoir went from 200 cubic feet per second to 400. Releases will continue to increase over the next several days. A maximum release of 1,200 cubic feet per second is expected from the Jamestown Reservoir and 600 from Pipestem. Residents along the James River downstream of Jamestown should continue to monitor the National Weather Service. Levees are being raised and sandbaggers working around the clock in an attempt to stop the damage of the Cheyenne River's flooding from getting any worse. As reported in the Jamestown Sun, the Cheyenne is near record flooding. Bob Werkhoven said he is confident the city is prepared for the river to reach its peak today, which could be 2 feet higher than predicted. Barnes County Commissioner Robert Burtson said the damage is worse than '09, and it'd be easier to list the roads in the county that are open than the roads that are underwater. Burtson said people are becoming isolated without access to emergency services. According to the National Weather Service, the Cheyenne River was expected to reach about 20.5 feet overnight and level, remaining there for several days. But with that kind of pressure on the levees for so long, something could happen, according to Werkhoven. The National Guard has already responded to a weak spot in the levee yesterday, along with 850 sandbags around another levee that was leaking. The levees are being patrolled with sandbags on standby and pumps running constantly. Extra releases out of the Bald Hill Dam are causing similar problems in Lisbon and Fort Ransom. Some families have already been evacuated. In Washington, President Obama proposed a mix of tax increases, long-term spending cuts, and changes to social welfare programs yesterday to slow the growing national debt. As reported in the New York Times, President Obama's proposal would cut federal budget deficits by a cumulative $4 trillion over 12 years, compared to the Republicans' plan of $4.4 trillion over 10 years. Instead of fundamental changes to Medicare and Medicaid proposed by the Republicans, he plans to rely in part on tax increases on wealthy Americans. It could be interesting to see how this debate plays out into the next year as we prepare for re-election. Well, it's looking like we've got a bit of a chilly streak on our hands. Tonight we're sitting at about 28 degrees. Taking a look at our 5-day forecast. Tomorrow we may be looking at a bit of snow. Don't want to hear that. High of 33, low of 24. Getting into the weekend, Saturday will be partly cloudy, high of 39, low of 25. Sunday, some more rain and snow showers, high of 41, low of 27. Monday will be looking partly cloudy, high of 41, low of 21. And Tuesday, partly cloudy with a high of 45, low of 29. In sports, Barry Bonds, former outfielder who hit the most home runs in baseball history, was convicted Wednesday of a single count of obstruction of justice. As reported in the New York Times, the federal jury couldn't reach a verdict of whether Bonds had lied about ever knowingly using steroids during his career, which he was charged for in 2003, along with lying about if anyone other than his personal physician had ever injected him with a needle with another obstruction of justice. In a government investigation in 2003, the grand jury heard evidence of possible steroids used by numerous prominent athletes. After further deliberations with no verdict, the judge said she was considering declaring a mistrial on the 3 unresolved counts. The Cheyenne River did not prevent the Jimmies and the Vikings from playing baseball on Wednesday in Valley City. Neither did the wind and cold. The Jimmies pounded the Vikings for 19 runs on 15 hits in Game 1 of a non-conference doubleheader at Charlie Brown Field. Yesterday, the softball team played Mayfield. Heather Hagerly went 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and 2 RBIs to lead the Jimmies to an opening game 11-2 5-inning victory over McElroy Park. Both teams played Dickinson State on Saturday. Well, Jamestown, that's all for tonight. I'm Jessee Boyle, connecting the campus to the community. Have a great night.